I'd like to call to order the Hatfield Township Board of Commissioners Workshop and regular meeting for November 15, 2023. Roll call.
President Zipfel.
Here.
Vice President Rogers.
Here.
Commissioner Andrus.
Here.
Commissioner Lees.
Here.
Commissioner Zimmerman.
I would like to ask Commissioner Andrus this evening to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag of the United States.
Republic for which
Okay, is there a motion for approval of tonight's agenda?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lees,
Second.
second by Vice President Rogers. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Citizens' comments. Are there any citizens' comments on agenda items? I could call you out by name, just in case you were interested. All right, we're going to move on to the consent items. Is there a motion to move the consent items into the record?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus, second by Commissioner Zimmerman. Those items include the Board of Commissioners' regular meeting minutes of October 25, the HTMA monthly budget report for the month of September, the HTMA meeting minutes for September, the police report for the month of October, the VMSC monthly report, Calmer monthly report for the month of October, the Treasurer's report for the month of November, and the bills payable, paid bills in the amount of $3,338.58, and unpaid bills in the amount of $1,260,832.84. With that, I'll call the question. All in favor of moving those into the record, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, those are moved into the record. We're going to jump into our committee reports. Planning and Zoning Committee, Vice President Rogers.
Nothing tonight, thank you.
Right, we're moving right along. Public Works Committee, Commissioner Lees.
Nothing to report.
Continue to move quickly. Parks and Recreation Committee, Commissioner Zimmerman.
Can you hear me now? Okay. Start over? Yeah. All right, Parks and Rec 7th Annual Giving Tree is up in the lobby in the Township Building. The tree is filled with wishes and requests from local children and families in need this holiday season. Take a tag from the tree and replace it with the corresponding gift. All gifts should be returned new and unwrapped. All gifts should be returned by Friday, December 15th, so the Park and Rec elves have time to sort everything and deliver it in time for the holidays. We're going to have the Holiday Lights Contest again, so register your home for free and participate in our 4th annual Holiday Lights Contest. Submit 2 photos of your decorated house to holidaylights@hatfield.org. Winners will be selected in the following categories: People's Choice, Most Colorful, Most Creative, Most Traditional, or Classic. Winners will be announced on the Township Facebook page the week of January 1. Registration and photo submission deadline, December 15th. Under events, we had our Mini Monster Halloween event, and the recap for that, it was held on Friday, October the 20th. We had over 150 trick-or-treaters visit with local businesses and organizations. They enjoyed a photo booth, face painting, balloon animals, crafts, pumpkin decorating, and an outdoor movie and Kona ice. Thank you to our volunteers, the businesses, the vendors, and all the families that came out to celebrate Halloween with us. Upcoming is going to be our Santa event. The Hatfield Township Police Benevolent Association and the Park and Recs Department will team up again with the North Pole to bring Santa to Hatfield for a holiday celebration. Join the local band, challenge accepted, as they perform classic and favorite holiday tunes. The Boy Scouts, Troop 52, will be selling hot food and drinks, or just come join in around the fire pits to make some s'mores. There'll also be face painting and balloon animals. And of course, Santa himself will be taking photos with the kids and families. When? Saturday, December 9th, School Road Park, 4 to 6 p.m. Rain location will be indoors at the township building with an adapted list of activities. And that's it. We're coming to the end of the year, so make sure you get out and come take a gift from the Giving Tree and come join us and see Santa on December 9th. Thank you.
All right, good report.
Something real quick.
Yeah, well, it's actually Tomenson,
Talminson, okay.
right at the border, yeah. I think that's...
Still pretty cool.
Yes, I think it's December 18th, around then. So yeah, check that out. It's the one on Kimberly Way, for those of you that are familiar with that.
Right on that corner, and it's like yards away from, like, just at the edge of Hatfield and Township.
Yeah, right at the line,
Yeah.
yep. Yeah.
Okay, good report. So, Public Safety Committee, nothing to report. Finance Committee, Commissioner Andrus.
Yeah, I got nothing, but we'll let Aaron speak for
I
me.
was going to say, we have a big finance report in a moment. All right, we have a couple of action items, two that are kind of exciting. Both, the first two are conditional offers of employment for patrolmen. The first one, which I'll take a motion for, is a motion to provide a conditional offer of employment to Tyler Four as a patrolman based on the eligibility list certified by the Hatfield Township Civil Service Commission, conditioned upon successful completion of a psychological and physical exam. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lees.
Second.
Second by Vice President Rogers. Any questions or comments about this, Chief? I'm not sure if anything in particular you want to mention about the process or these appointments, other than, let me jump right in and say first a great thank you to the Civil Service Commission for all the work that they do in helping us from a resident's perspective of not just the process, but then also the recommendation itself.
Everybody knows we go through a written testing process, which is then pared down to, and then a polygraph test, which then we pick from that list as to who we want to hire.
Yep. And for those of you who don't know, these were anticipated. It's a part of our strategic plan in replacing two other officers. So any other questions or comments before I call the question? All right. All those in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Congratulations, Tyler, if you or your family is watching. Second is motion to provide a conditional offer of employment to Ryan Boyd as patrolman based on the eligibility list certified by the Hatfield Township Civil Service Commission, conditioned upon successful completion of a psychological and physical exam. Is there such a motion? Motion by Vice President Rogers.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Zimmerman. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. And likewise, Ryan and your family, if you're watching, congratulations. We look forward to both of you joining our police force. So, great. Chief, thank you for everything as always, and thanks to the entire department. All right, our third action item is a tax appeal settlement. I suspect that our solicitors will weigh in on this one. So is there a motion for approval with regard to the tax appeal settlement for the 2600 to 2630 Berge Road Condo Unit 2?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Andrus.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Lees. Mr. Solicitor, I believe, do you have this one?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I'm asking for a motion for me to sign this tax assessment settlement. Turn 14 property. Back in 2022, the school district tax assessment appeal. Parties agreed to establish the fair market value for the subject property at $9 million, which results in an increase in taxes, under payment of taxes of $12,738 for tax year 2023. Taxes will also be increased for and seeking
All right, from time to time we get these. Sometimes they are adjusted where there is less tax to be paid. Sometimes there is more tax to be paid. That's right, that's right. And so if there's any questions or comments from residents or otherwise? No, hearing none, I'll call the question. All in favor of that motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. Thank you, Mr. Solicitor. All right, the reason why the large crowd we have this evening is here tonight is so that we can hand the microphone over to our township manager, who is going to do the 2024 draft budget No tax increase for the 10th straight year, and why don't I have you do the presentation, and then I'll take the motion.
Thank you, Mr. President. And speaking of the audience, we first have to thank Dave Bernhauser, our finance director, for all the hard work he does throughout this process. Dave, setting the mood. Tina, can you hear me? Is my mic on tonight? Your mic's on. Okay. All right. Everybody's awake? All right, good.
No.
Okay. I'll do my best. All right, so commissioners and residents that are here tonight, on behalf of the commissioners, I'm really excited to present a 10th straight budget without a tax increase. Not many say that, thanks to the leadership of the board over the years. And I think we all agree that we should celebrate when you have something exciting going on. So our first small presentation tonight is just a quick 10 years of improvements that the commissioners have made, to only a few minute look back of the last 10 years of the improvements that the commissioners have made to the community. So sit back and enjoy. Actually, before we start, a few things I do want to say. Thanks to Scott Hutt for helping us throughout the process, and all the department heads and Jay Gordon on our team of capturing video throughout the year that we're going to show. A lot of work that began a year ago led up to tonight. Quick look back, 10 years of really great improvements that the commissioners have made in this town. 24, let's look 23 and all the fun things we got into this year.
development in 1915 is provided a spotlight to commemorate
Good shot. Nice.
I have to tell you, this is one of the biggest nights in Hatfield in quite some time. With me is Vice President Bob Rogers and Commissioner Deb Zimmerman, and I have to tell you, we are remarkably and unbelievably excited, not just because, yes, this is probably one of the largest crowds that have ever attended a ribbon cutting in Hatfield in our small town. This is going to be one of the most significant and impactful things that Hatfield Township has ever had the good graces to be a part of.
Phenomenal. And I've been lucky enough to have these two guys by my side for 26 and 25 years now. I believe it says at the bottom, if I'm not mistaken, 2 great communities, 1 great department. Hatfield Police 2020.
It up. It is one of the most critical functions that goes on in Hatfield.
We keep the toilets flush.
matches for the budget presentation.
A lot goes on in a year. And we started working on the video, and my goal was 2-3 minutes, and then more things came up, and we said, well, let's go 4 minutes, and we need 5. It was 7. A lot goes on in a year, so wanted to make sure we showed that tonight. All right, moving into 24. So to finish off on 23, and I wanted to recognize Scott for his efforts, because what a difference his arrival made as far as how much we train here in Hatfield Township. 2023 alone, 232 online courses of training that our staff took on. Almost misused the word. Thanks to Scott's efforts, he arranged all the training for the staff throughout the year, and we have trained more in 23 than we ever have. As we go into 24, like I said, no tax increase now for the 10th straight year, something to celebrate. Look at the 24 budget. 60% of it is for police and fire, emergency services. A priority of the commissioners over the tenure, and certainly moving forward. When you look at an organization's budget, you'll see what the priorities are. And it's clear that public safety is number one here in Hatfield Township, followed by infrastructure improvement, paving, maintaining roads, stormwater management, followed by parks and rec, trail connections, which we just showed. Looking into 24, just big picture overview. We tweaked the presentation a little bit this year. We have a experienced group of commissioners who have been through the budget process many times. We didn't need to highlight every single revenue and expense, and we did that throughout our workshop meeting. But revenue, real estate taxes, earned income taxes, those are the bread and butter for revenue for any local government in Pennsylvania. Expenses, as you see here, like I said earlier, police are roughly 50%. When you add in fire protection and other expenses from the police department, you're roughly 60% for emergency services. Where do your real estate taxes go? All in locally when you're paying your taxes, and we have these conversations often with our residents when they bring up certain numbers to us. It's just important for people to realize for every dollar you're spending in real estate, only 8 cents of that is to the township itself. So 80% of what you pay in real estate taxes goes to the school district. Overall budget by fund, roughly $18 million here in Hatfield Township, collected and spent through these funds. For a median homeowner in Hatfield, you pay roughly $729 a year, and what you receive that investment is an accredited, the best police department, volunteer fire companies, public works department, which is in charge of snow removal, stormwater maintenance, paving, over 70 lane miles maintained throughout the town, painting, traffic signals, flashers, bridges, basins, 200 acres of open space maintained, a thriving parks and rec department that we just saw video of, one of the best aquatic centers in Pennsylvania, which was recently named summer, and I think we all knew that well before that. Large park, which has been upgraded over the years thanks to the commissioners. Next year, Clemens Park 2.0, which will begin next year. Biker Park, pickleball courts, Walnut Street Cabin, Tree Nursery, Melody Brook Park, Nature Preserve, Stratford Park, Dog Park, Township Arboretum, Street Hockey Court, Open Space, Chestnut Street Trail, Fricks Trail, all of those for a $700 a year investment for our local community. Some of the highlights in 24 as we move ahead, and we all discussed this as a group a few weeks ago in our budget workshop. No tax increase. Next year, the largest investment into public safety in the history of Hatfield with a new police station on Cowpath Road. Clemens Park finally gets developed, and an inclusive playground gets installed, as well as a public bathroom to partner with the Garden of Health and the other recreational pieces that are currently there, cricket and soccer and other sports. Installation of EV stations, electrical vehicle stations at both parks, School Road and Clemens, and the Township Building. Almost $1 million in the paving roads. Finally, we believe will happen is the purchase of the 4 homes that have been flooded repeatedly over the years, thanks to a grant from FEMA, which we should hear about any day now. Going through a planning process that we discussed at the budget workshop to plan the future of what the current police station is now, as well as all the community in the park recreation behind the township building, putting together a plan on what that may look like as the police department moves to Cowpath Road. Grant has been submitted and hopefully received in '24 to build a new Welsh and Orvilla intersection that is safer and easier to get through. We're going to build 1,500 feet of Liberty Bell Trail behind Snyder Square to connect to Hatfield Borough, and then following that up, we will then connect the other section into Lansdale. And in the budget is a $100,000 investment to our local ambulance company. We had a presentation here a few months ago by Shane Wheeler, the chief, and gesture of support for one of the more essential services in local government. So those are the highlights of the '24 budget. Happens now is we post the budget, we advertise the budget, we advertise the millage rates to stay the same. And like we say every year, we as a team and staff and elected officials are really honored to serve and work with our great residents here in Hatfield. So thank you for your time tonight and throughout the year. And this is really a presentation that represents the entire year, work that goes throughout the year, and it's work that involves everyone in this room as well as everyone in the building and throughout the community, and hopefully that reflects that when we see the energy in the video and the smiling faces from the service. So thank you, commissioners, for your leadership headed into '24. So thank you.
Comments, residents, or anyone on the dais? It is good video stuff. Every year the presentation gets better, so we try not to have our township manager get too big ahead, but tonight is a really big night for a lot of people, not just the township, but also our staff, and Aaron in particular, because this is kind of at least the economic financial culmination of all the hard work that has gone into planning for the next year. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to come up with, keeping a balanced budget for so long. And a couple of quick points on top of all that, which is every time Aaron said the commissioners, thank you, commissioners, and gave us credit for things, he really should have been saying thank you to himself and to his staff, because I say it all the time, and some people probably hear it and they think I'm a broken record. The commissioners are just elected, unpaid, volunteer positions. The people who run this township, who are the true government entities of this township starts with our township commissioner, who's the best that I've ever seen, goes right to our chief and to our finance director and everyone else who works with them and for them. And it's just, I was out to dinner last night, bumped into a resident who lives just on the outside of Hatfield, and told us, saw all the signs, election signs, and wanted to know, how everything went, because Hatfield is run so fantastically that he's jealous that he misses Hatfield by a couple of blocks. And so when you hear that, not just once, it's great, but when you hear it on a regular basis, then you know that it's being run and organized in such a fantastic setting and position that we're doing it right here. And that really starts with the leaders of the team here. Aaron, I can't thank you enough. He doesn't just run the township, he helps each one of us, in addition to, just when a resident has a concern or we have a question, he's right there and answering all of that. And then, of course, on top of that, his working with the residents is just, it's unparalleled. And Chief and Dave, regular compliments that we receive about you and your staff's fantastic, and our consultants as well, our outside consultants. You do a fantastic job. I really think we have a really great team. 2024 looks like it's going to be really a pretty exciting year, And so I'm going on and on, but tonight is just a very important evening to let our staff and the head of our staff know what a fantastic job they do. So it's worthy of taking a few extra minutes just to do that. So thank you for all of it.
Thank you.
I was knocking on doors. The impact that police have on residents is just amazing. A couple residents who had mentioned events that occurred maybe 10, 12, 13 years ago, and they still remember it. It being a great department being so compassionate. As a compliment to the staff and how the police department works with the community. So thank you, Chief.
One comment I'd like to make is a couple years ago, we sort of somewhat reorganized, and you can see the benefits over the last couple of years of the positive impact that has had on our community, Hatfield Township, presentations, everything across the board. Fantastic.
Scott, I mentioned I kept looking over there and saw Chief. Please don't think anything other than you're part of that group.
Me and not him.
Yeah.
Scott doesn't really
I was
do
just
much,
trying to make him
but-
feel good. But Scott Hutt has been a fantastic addition to our staff. He really has. We're thrilled to have him. Thank you for joining us.
Next year.
Because I'm going to be the new manager.
It works
Hey,
out.
look at the time.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Then we have a motion, and it's just a motion to advertise at this point, because then the process is that we'll vote on this in our meeting in December. So tonight is just a motion to advertise the ordinance for the budget adoption and maintaining tax rates for 2024, based on the presentation that you just saw. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lees.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Andrus. Any questions or comments? All right, I will call a question. All in favor of that motion to advertise, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, that is approved. We can advertise, and then December 20th. December 20th is our meeting when we will vote on the budget itself. All right, township staff reports.
Said enough. Mr.
Said it all.
President.
That's right.
Said it all.
And very well done.
Thank you.
All right, citizens' comments. Any citizens' comments? Seeing none, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Lees. Second by Commissioner Zimmerman. Any questions or comments about adjournment? All right, I'll call a question. All in favor of adjournment, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, we're adjourned. Thanks for coming out, folks.